Hey guys, this is North back again with another video. Today's video, I'm going to give you my top 5 oud fragrances that are for oud lovers. So on my previous list, I gave you 10 oud fragrances with oud in the name, aka 10 fragrances for people that are new to oud or don't really like oud. So this list is only for the people that are really getting into oud or who really enjoy oud. So let's go ahead and get into it. Before I start, I do want to mention that I only have 5 on the list. I will mention another oud scent for the sake of this video, but I only have 5 because most of the fragrances that I have that are like really oud dominant, I don't seem to find ones that are like in the price range that I'm willing to spend. Some of them are extremely expensive and I may not find it worth it to get it. And another one is just being hard to please. So for me, before I had to go ahead and get into the list, for me, when you get this strong oud smell, whether it be barnyardy or skanky type of oud, it does depend on which region of Southeast Asia that you get it from, whether it be Hindi or Vietnam or anywhere else, Chinese oud, all these places have oud. So it depends on that. It depends on how old the oud is, on what type of smell that you're going to get. But to me, there really isn't enough difference in them to have, say, for me to have like 20, 30 different strong oud smelling scents, because they at the end of the day they do have a lot of similarities to them, especially if it's closer to just more of a pure oud type of smell. So that's another reason why I don't have a ton of them. And if I want to really smell like that, I would rather just invest in getting a really good pure oud oil. So this is from Abdul Al-Quraishi. You can see the label here. This one is Sasora oud oil, and this one is said to be 30 years old. I don't remember how much exactly I paid for it. It was quite expensive, but as I've mentioned before, Abdul Al-Quraishi does do a lot of sales, 50% off sales all the time, and this is only a quarter of a tola. So this is only 3 milliliters of oil. I've worn this maybe like 2 or 3 times and it's still pretty much full to the brim. So you get a lot of use out of it, and you can get some really good expensive quality oud in it. Whereas, with the perfumes like that I'll mention, you don't know how much concentration of oud that there is in it. And if I want to smell like oud, I'll just like get an oil for the most part. But let's go ahead and get it going. First one I want to mention, some of these I have mentioned in my animalics video, because I mentioned fragrances that smelled animalic, and this oud does have an animalic scent. That's why people describe it as barnyardy, smelling like animals. So some of these I've mentioned before, some of these I haven't in that particular video. So first one I want to mention is from the house of Ajmal, and this one is Al-Shams. This is the special edition. This particular one was released in 2008. This only has one ingredient listed, and that is aged Hindi oud. This is number 5 just because it is so strong. This is the strongest one out the gate. And I was speaking with somebody on Instagram, and they were telling me the difference between like soaked oud and another way of distilling oud. And they say a lot of with the Hindi oud, they soak it in water before they start the distillation process, and that's what makes it have that fecal type of smell to it. That particular person said that's why he didn't enjoy it. But this one, when you smell it, it is just nuclear out the gate. But for the price, this is a really good one to have if you really want a strong oud smell in a spray and not an attar oil. Then I would definitely suggest this one, because this is less than $100. But unfortunately, all the time, this is the trend. This one is said to, I was just at Ajmal the other day. They said they discontinued this one and they rebottled it in a different bottle. I don't know if it's a different type of oud, but there you have it. So it should still be available. And again, I got this one for less than $100, and this is like the most authentic, strongest smelling oud for the price in a spray that I've ever seen. So that's number 5, Al Shams special edition. Again, Al Shams is sun in Arabic. Number 4 and number 3 were ones I was struggling with which place I wanted to put them, but I decided to put the Montale at number 4, and this is Oud Cuir. And this fragrance is one I absolutely love from the house. I believe that there's like 3 Montales that I love and I would always want to keep in my collection. One is Honey Oud, the other one is Full Incense, and the last one is this Oud Cuir. Oud Cuir was released in 2006. The notes here are leather, oud, birch, and tobacco. This particular fragrance, when I first smelled it, it was pretty animalic on the opening. It's not as crazy as the Shams one. Nothing is as crazy as that, but it is just it's a very good scent. You know, I don't find a lot of Montales to be very impressive, but I was very impressed by this one. So at number 4, I have Oud Cuir. Number 3 from the house of Ajmal again. This one is called Amber, and this one was released in 2019. This is supposed to be their like private line collection. I believe they commissioned like some European perfumers to do some of these scents. I don't remember any of the names, but what I do remember, even to this day, because I bought 2 discovery sets, and so I was able to get 10 Kuwaiti dinars off, so that was like $30 off of this. This is a $200 bottle, so I got $20 off of that. But this is the only one, even still to this day, that I like. This one has notes of bergamot, rose, jasmine, oud, and sandalwood. This particular one, when I remember it, it's like when you get used to smelling oud, especially really strong oud, some things just they aren't as strong as you remembered them. And I remember this one being extremely like potent smelling when I first smelled it. But now it's just like really, really tame. I find the Oud Cuir more animalic or barnyardy than I find this one. This one is more of like a sweet oud rose type of scent. It's very good. This is the best one to me from the whole line. This is the only one that I would suggest anybody getting or blind buying. I believe it's the best quality one. All the other ones that are available here don't add up to it. So I put this one at number 3. I just think this is a better, I don't know. I think it's a better well-rounded scent as far as like really strong oud smells. Oud Cuir does have more of a animalic smell to it. A lot of people online, I guess about half and half for the Oud Cuir said that it reminded them of the moon. I don't remember about that one. So number 3 is Amber from Ajmal. Number 2 is one of the most recent diptyques that I picked up. It's one that I wanted for a while. I hadn't added it to my collection because, you know, I've mentioned before that what I like about diptyque is that diptyque is affordable. It is affordable to buy retail, but I still wanted to get a discount. And I had been able to get some of the other ones at, you know, very, very good prices at the gray markets, but I couldn't find this one. So I was able to get a few bucks off, so I finally picked it up. And this is OUD PALAO, the Oud Parfum. I believe it only comes in Oud Parfum. This one was released in 2015. Notes are oud, rose, vanilla, and the olfactory accident is incense. So it has an incense vibe to it. It is supposed to smell similar to Dior's Oud Ispahan, but from what I'm told, because I don't own Ispahan, is that this one is stronger. And this does have an animalic oud tinge facet to it. This one is great. This one I had to add to my collection. I knew I wanted it, I just didn't want to pay retail at the time. So at least I got a few bucks off. So that's why I have this one at number 2. I just think that this is, it has the right amount of other notes mixed with a strong oud scent. And that's why I have this one at number 2. So what's number 1? number one comes from the house of Abdul Al-Quraishi. And this, unfortunately, is a scent that is discontinued, and this is called Blue Kenam. There was only maybe one other YouTuber that I saw that mentioned this, and I remember when he did that, it was a couple years ago when this first came out. He didn't really like it, but you know, I believe that, you know, obviously scents are all subjective, they're all relative, but also I'm sure that he paid retail or close to retail for it. Even if he got 50% off, this was an extremely expensive scent. But since they discontinued it, they heavily discounted it, and I got 50% off on top of that. So I got this for like a crazy steal. This one only lists notes of oud. It was released in 2016. I'm sure it has to have other notes in it, but Abdul Al-Quraishi is not known for like just being the most transparent, or for lack of a better word, professional with how they list their notes. So I believe it has to be other things in it. One thing I do know is that it does not have Kenam in it. Kenam, Agarwood, the wood chips are extremely expensive. People were talking about Blue Kenam being like this mythical type of Kenam Agarwood that is so expensive that it's not distilled. I'm not sure. It's very hard to find specific information specifically about Blue Kenam, but I have come across Kenam oil even in Abdul Al-Quraishi recently. I watched a video with Russian Adam talking about Kenam. So it is possible to get it. It is very expensive. This was very expensive, but apparently, again, this does not have Kenam oil in it. Why is this one number one? This one is number one because to me, this is, of all 5 of these that I've mentioned, it's my favorite oud scent. You know, if you want to smell like oud, but still be presentable, not be just blowing people out of the water. What I've mentioned about this is that even from the opening, it's like you have put on, say, a pure oil or this very strong spray, but the opening is like the dry down. So with oud, you know, it starts off really strong and then it dries down, and then that dry down is what people love about oud. And this one opens up that way. It opens up creamy, smooth, and it does smell like oud. I was very impressed by this. I don't know whether or not I smelled it before I bought it. I'm lying. Yes, I did, because I bought this. So the first thing I got was the pure oud oil. So I got this one. They didn't have the extrait de parfum, or when they did, they weren't running the deal and people were out of it. Somehow some bottles popped up. And what they've done, it seems like as if they've taken what was in these bottles and now they've mixed it with vanilla, or they've mixed it with musk. And so you can buy these bottles. They're watered down with musk and vanilla and other scents, saffron and things like that. So again, this is discontinued, but this is my number one oud fragrance for Oud lovers. This is Blue Kenam from Abdul Al-Quraishi. I believe it's just just believe it's the best one. It is smooth, it's creamy, it smells like oud. I can't necessarily pick out other notes that it may have in it, like florals or something like that, but I don't believe that it is just strictly oud, but they are not listed. So that's my list of my top 5 oud fragrances for Oud lovers. What oud dominant fragrances do you like in your collection? Are you a fan of oud? So please let me know in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.